One thing I added into my life a couple of years ago was journaling. Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be sharing all of my top secrets in my journal, and I'm going to be showing you, a personal side of my life and being a bit vulnerable to you guys, but I hope this helps you, and that's why I guess I'm willing to do so. My name is George Holliday. I'm a producer here at Made on the Road. It's built into a studio bus, and I travel around Europe when COVID isn't happening, making music with some of you lovely bunch, and hopefully some of you lovely bunch in the future as well. So that's me in a nutshell. And today I wanted to share with you why journaling quite literally changed my life, improved my career, and made me happier, like genuinely made me happier. And I wanted to share with you some questions that I answer on a daily basis. It doesn't matter what questions you answer, you can come up with your own questions, but I just wanted to share some questions with you because I get a lot of questions on my Instagram, people saying, what do you answer? Like what do you personally use, and what do you find great questions to speak about in your journal? So I'm going to share that with you today. Big up to Spotify for this beautiful journal. It's probably the most awesome book that I've actually owned, and it's not one that I paid for. So isn't that ironic? The ones that you pay for just aren't as good as the freebies. So thank you, Spotify. Journaling. So why did I start journaling? Well, I started journaling initially because I felt like I wasn't achieving much in my day, and I didn't feel very happy. I couldn't feel like I couldn't ever get to that point in my day where I wanted to stop doing some work, because I felt like there was just always more to do. And that is true. We could just work forever if we wanted to, but it's important to stop. It's important to take that time out, and it's really important to take that time to reflect, because with reflection we can work out where we're not being efficient, and what is the reason we're not feeling satisfied in the day, and what can we improve on tomorrow, and most importantly have time to reflect on what we have done that day and what we have achieved and what we are doing to move forward. And journaling for me was mainly based on the work that I was doing rather than personal, but I think most of you guys will relate that every day when we're doing what we love, that is personal, that it all merges into one. It's not like finishing a job that we don't like and going home, where you can make that clear differentiation. Is that a word? You can separate those two emotions easier, and you can tell that work's making me happy, work's making me unhappy, and you can tell home life is making me sad and making me happy, and it's easier to separate those two things out. But when it's something that you do every day that you're just so pumped on and you love it, it's really hard to separate those parts of your life that you can improve on and reflect on in positive ways. So I started journaling. Initially I did some research on Google as just to what are journaling questions, and there are some great blogs out there that have some great suggestions. So I'm going to share with you a handful of my questions that I answer on a daily basis. Now I tweak and change these all the time. I say all the time, I change and tweak them when I feel like I've answered the question in a way that I'm not feeling inspired to answer that question anymore. I'm going around in circles. But having said that, if you feel like you're going around in circles, sometimes that suggests that you need to change something. If your answer is the same every time, it's like, is it good that I'm always feeling like I run out of time? Is it good that I always feel like I don't stick to my schedule? Actually, in reflection, I should be paying more attention to my schedule. And then that's how journaling can change your efficiency. That's certainly a question that kept coming back for me, and even to this day I keep switching up my schedule. At the moment I'm getting up super early and starting work at 7, so I get an extra couple of hours before other people are sat at their desks pinging me emails and distracting me. That's where I'm currently at, but before then I was trying to block out my days differently, and it was only because I kept writing that concern in my journal that I actually addressed it, and even sought to address it as a problem as to why I was feeling stressed all the time. So, what questions? Now, at the minute my questions are written on this very sad looking torn piece of paper that I slide into the next page, so it's already there ready for me to answer those questions. And I've numbered them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and quite simply when I answer my questions, rather than writing out the question each time, I just write number 1 and write the answer to that question. And if I really want to know what that question was, I can then look at that piece of paper. I stalled then. Did anybody notice? I needed a reboot for a split second. I glitched. Journaling. So that's how I personally do it, with a date at the top, numbers, and then my text, everything that I write about. Okay, so let's share with you my questions. So question number 1 that I answer on a daily is, how was your day yesterday? Really simple question. And I almost do it as if I'm having a conversation with myself, as if I'm going to do like a video entry, and sometimes I keep it short and sweet. But generally this is about my emotion, like how was your day? In fact, as I read these questions, I'm going to answer, let's go to a random page, let's just answer something. I'm going to double check that there's nothing like super personal in there. Okay, 8th of the 1st, 8th of January 2021, surely that's 2021. Yeah, 21. I wrote 20, but it's 2021. How was your day yesterday? So I normally approach this on a quite a personal level, like how did I feel just generally, anything off the top of my head. Did I have a good day, bad day, amazing day, really shitty day? On this particular day, 8th of January, I put good, but my first mental challenge of the year. I was fitting my heater with Chris, this is for the bus, so didn't manage any work, so battled with that a little, as I did have half a day planned for work. It was good though, and I didn't feel too bad. So it sounds like I didn't have much of a work day on here at all. I go on later to talk about, I do go on later to talk about some work stuff. So let's roll with this day. Second question, what did you achieve? Fitted my new heater, almost finished, but have another hour to go, I reckon. Not on this particular day, but an hour on another day to go. So that sometimes I put a bullet point. Let's just scoot to another day. I'll sometimes put some bullet points like first lecture day of the year, final edit of Tash Hill's track, and got instructions from North Note, which was a new licensing company I've been working with. Instructions on what I needed to do next, and I achieved all of those things. So it's just a moment. Sometimes that list will be huge, sometimes it's just one big achievement, but almost go through your calendar and just go through one by one, like what did you do yesterday? And you'll write and generally be like, wow, I actually achieved quite a lot that day. Or you just did a big tick on one particular thing that you wanted to do, and it's just a nice little moment of reflection of like, oh, I did do those things. Number 3, what are you worried about? This is my favorite question, because sometimes I'm like, I don't feel like I'm worried about anything, but I force myself to write something that, you know, maybe I just felt a bit uncomfortable about. So on this day, my answer was keeping on top of everything whilst balancing the feeling of being relaxed and free with my routine. And that's just how I was feeling on that particular day. But keeping on top of everything was obviously like something I was worried about. I felt quite overwhelmed on this day for whatever reasons. And I feel like that's an answer that comes back quite regularly. So if there's something specific, I'll probably go into it. What I like about repeating myself is that it sort of starts to drill in a pattern of like, hang on, I'm consistently feeling overwhelmed about this or about that. And I think that's a really, really important thing to stay connected with, you know. Number 4, what are you looking forward to today? I like this question. Today I'm looking forward to a productive day with Carol's song. This was a new client of mine. And getting things sent off, I assume, to her. Although, might do that in the morning. So I might send stuff off in the morning. But what I was looking forward to was working on a new song with a new client. Like, what's not to like about that? And I think it also just triggers you. I tend to do my journals in the morning, so that's why I have that question. But it triggers you to sort of start to look forward to what you're going to get on with after you've written your journal as well. So I guess that's the thing with these questions. They're quite leading into like putting yesterday behind you and looking forward to today. Number 5, what could I have done better yesterday? Nothing really, other than except the heater took longer than planned, and I'm getting better with dealing with letting go of my expectations, but don't want to lose that because it is ultimately what people notice, comment on, and what I really appreciate about myself, and I get regular comments about this, so I don't want to lose that. I guess what I'm saying there is it's something I appreciate about myself, and I guess an asset to myself that I don't want to lose is that I do have high expectations and I do push myself quite a lot. So I think in one hand I'm saying I want to sort of get better at lowering, or not lowering, but like letting go of expectations if they don't happen. It's not the end of the world, but at the same time recognizing that I want to keep that as part of my personality. So I think that's quite an interesting answer for what I could have done better yesterday. Even though I said like yesterday I couldn't have really done anything better, things happen. The heater took longer than expected. You just got to accept it. So for me, it was just accepting it was taking longer than planned. Number 6, 3 most important things for today. I love this question because it kind of gives me almost like goals and gives me my focus. So number 1, get through everything, but go with the flow. At this time, like at the beginning of this year, one thing I really wanted to achieve, and I guess you could call them like New Year resolutions to myself, one thing I really wanted to achieve was actually just appreciating when things just happen that you might not expect. Or if something happens and interrupts you, just go with the flow of it a little bit. You can always catch up later. There'll be different times that you're more productive than others. There'll be times where you're more productive than others, and that's okay. Like, I put a lot of pressure on myself normally, and I think you then don't enjoy things as much, and time flies by and you don't appreciate life as much. So actually going with the flow, somebody knocks on the door, chat with them for half an hour, like that's cool, that's fine, that's what life is about. So I think that's what I was getting at with that. The second point, don't stress if heater doesn't work smoothly. So although I'd fitted the heater previously, I was aware there was more work that needed happening, but don't stress about it. It's fine. I'll be able to fix it. Appreciate my situation. Bus is moving. I have work coming in. Money is coming in to live off. So I'm all good. I like that one. 3 most important things for you today. Just appreciate my situation. That's a good one. I like that. 7, how are you? And I put that in capitals and underlined it because it's quite easy to talk about work. It's quite easy to talk about everybody else. It's quite easy to talk about things that you think you should be talking about. But actually, how often does somebody just ask you the question, like, how are you? Like, really, how are you? And that's why I like that question, because it kind of is like somebody catching you off guard and saying, oh, no, not like work. Don't tell me about anybody else and how everything else has been going or anything specific. Just how are you feeling? 7, I feel better. I feel like my nerves for the year are subsiding slowly but surely. I just have a love/hate relationship with my drive to do well. Don't we all, hey? Number 8 is just comments. Sometimes I leave this blank. It's just an open space if you want to vent something else out, something that can't really fit to a normal question. So number 8 on this particular day, no comments today. I have it all out above. I think what I mean by that is I have everything out I wanted to say in the above questions. Shall we quickly go through the next day and just see if anything improved? So number 1, how was your day yesterday? Fun, but a later start than planned after my journal adventure and final fix on the heater. I like to go places with this journal and in the morning just write it in an unusual place. At the moment I'm doing them in the mornings, but I might switch that to the evenings at some point, try and be flexible with it, but just ultimately you want to enjoy and look forward to just spending half an hour just, with you and your journal. I admit I could have done a lot more with Carol's song and Dave Coslett's mix. I should have allocated more time on separate days really, but I felt I can't even read my own handwriting, it's awful really, but I felt okay about it regardless. So I think that was, I just crammed too much into my day, and I felt like I should have got or could have got more out of the day on those projects, but I did what I could in the time allocated. So there is a good observation on, maybe just scheduling a little bit better. And I guess that in reflection, that would have led me on to plan my days differently. I definitely don't have to do 2 projects in a day now. 2, got heater properly working and tested. This is the question, what did you achieve? Number 2, I got my heater properly working and tested, contacted lots of people and enjoying my new morning routine. I obviously changed some stuff for the new year. Started mixing David Coslett's song, working on some details of Carol Jarvis' song and got structure together, but yet to be approved by Carol. Sent off and finished Joe Hurt's remix. Did an interview for a podcast, and I had a good call. With Dan, who is my business mentor. Got a lot done in that day. Or yesterday, the day before I was writing this, I had a big day. That was good. And actually sitting and recognizing that, that's a lot to do in a day, man. Don't put any more pressure on yourself. That's fine. That's good. And I probably wouldn't have recognized things like the interview or the call or that I'd sent off a remix that I'd finished and things like that. I probably wouldn't have recognized those as achievements, but they are achievements. Number 3, what are you worried about? Hitting my February quota of work. Okay, so that's something to be addressed, and maybe there's something I can do to change that. 4, seeing how much I fit into my schedule. The question is, what are you looking forward to today? Seeing how much I can fit into my schedule, honing in on my mixing skills more. And that was it. I only put 2 down for that. Naughty. Oh no, it doesn't have a specific number. What are you looking forward to today? Those 2 things is what I was looking forward to. Number 5, what could I have done better yesterday? I didn't manage my time very well yesterday, but I think I overscheduled my time again. Here we go. I need to space things out and manage projects to have a whole afternoon each, even if it's just mixing, and then tweaks can happen in the mornings. Cool, so I've clearly acknowledged I could be more efficient with those things. Number 6, 3 most important things for today. Keep an eye on the ball with timings. 2, don't fret about getting the album fully uploaded, but stick to my schedule. So I think what I mean by that is, if I've allocated 2 times, if I've allocated 2 hours, do 2 hours on it, but don't worry if I don't get it all done in those 2 hours. Stop there, schedule in some more time at a later date, and move on to the next thing. And the 3rd thing, finish first mix of David Coslett's song. Those are my 3 most important things to achieve that day. Number 7, how are you? I feel quite relaxed, and although I can feel a bit of nerves about something, I feel like I'm controlling it quite well and not affecting me overall. That's nice. That's good. That's like reaffirming to myself, like, you got this. 8, comments. This is random things I was feeling at the time. I need to be kinder to myself with what I have on. I'm doing a lot, and I can't let my business suffer by doing too much and not appreciating what I have now. I think that's super important to reflect on every day. The more you stress, the more pressure we put on ourselves, the more impact it actually has on the positive outcome of projects. And that's not cool. That's not good. So I like ending with that. I think that's something we can all reflect on. And I hope letting you into the life of my diary just a little bit helped you maybe with how you could do a diary and journal for yourself. And I hope you find it useful. And if you're finding things overwhelming at the moment, if you're feeling like things are doing really well, it's still good to do a journal. It's not just for when things aren't doing well. If you're doing really well, you might be missing something really obvious that could make things be even better, like be even more efficient, or maybe you can start expanding out and hire somebody to help you with some stuff that opens you up to starting some other projects that you've been holding on the back burner for a while. So whether you're having a good time in your career at the moment or a bad time, and likewise with life, journals, I promise you, will have a huge impact on you. So that's my two cents for today. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. If you found this useful, if you found a particular question has really resonated with you, leave a comment down below. If you want to talk about your projects with your music, feel free to book in a call. At the top of the comments, you can see there is a pinned comment that allows you to book in a free 30-minute call, and we can just sit and chat and have a good natter about your project. Natter is having a conversation. To anybody that doesn't know what a natter means, if you're watching this overseas, I know that's a very British term. But until next time, guys, take care, really stay safe and look after each other. And above all, never stop creating.